Jeff Gabelsberg is joining me from Jolly Goat Garage Doors. He is our expert today on the Check a Pro Radio show in garage doors. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Question came into the program, and it's interesting because it was something that reminded me of my childhood when it comes to garage doors, and that is a lock. Do I need a lock for my garage door? Now, when I was a kid, my parents would stop in front of the garage door and say, "Get out of the car," and lift up the garage door. And we really didn't lock it. We just lifted it up.
Right.
People didn't lock doors years ago. And so, I'd lift it up and we'd drive into the garage, and then we would put it down because there wasn't a garage door opener. If you have a garage door opener today, though, I'm wondering, do you need a lock? How does that work?
Yeah. So the locks and security for garage doors is always an ongoing concern, especially for homeowners, business owners, things like that. And to answer your question, yes, you're absolutely correct. If you have a garage door opener that's installed properly, functioning properly on your garage door, then it acts as a lock.
Mm.
And in most cases, it is actually more secure than what a lock can be. And a lot of times all of the garage doors nowadays are a metal type product, 90% of them anyway. And so if you've got a lock that's on the inside of your garage door, for example, that what we call a slide lock, it's not one of the old school ones that goes through the door with a key and all that stuff. It's just a small lock that goes on the inside. If that gets locked and on accident and somebody tries to open the garage door, it can still have some movement to it. The garage door can, and then it can cause the door to come off track because it's just locked on one side, and the door can get crooked. If somebody hits the garage door opener button, the opener will try to open it. It can cause damage. All kinds of bad things can go on that can be an expensive repair. So traditionally, we don't see locks on garage doors anymore, not near as much as we used to, because they do cause damage if they're not taken care of properly. If it gets accidentally locked, like I said, it can cause damage. If you've got a traditional, what we call a drawbar opener, which everybody knows, it's that opener that, pushes your garage door down and pulls it back up. Once that opener is in the closed position and the door is closed, you can't physically pull up on that door without causing some serious damage and some pretty serious strain on the body to try to get past that. So most of the time in a residential application, that makes up for the lock instead of actually installing a lock itself. Now, if we've got a garage door, let's say on a new construction or a remodel home where we're doing the garage door now, we're going to come back and do an opener later, then we would always want to put a lock on that for security reasons. But when we come back and do the garage door opener, part of our process is to disable that lock. And then we will show the homeowner how it works if they want to enable it later. But we would, explain to them and educate them on why and why not, and when you actually want to use that lock.
I was thinking, not only did we have that key lock where you could lock it or unlock it with a key, but you twisted it and then, the little arms went out on both sides to lock it.
Yep.
But also we had a handle at the bottom of the exterior of the door to pull it up. But today we don't have that hardware. So it'd be harder for someone actually to break in because they don't have a lot of leverage. They'd have to push up against the front of the door.
That's correct. Yeah. And one of the reasons we got away from in the industry, gotten away from the old twist handle that you're talking about and the handle at the bottom of the door is for safety reasons, right? Being that safety is such a big thing to everybody these days, especially with children and family members being around, the garage door is one of those things where there was a lot of injuries that were happening. Like yourself, when you were small, coming and lifting up that garage door, it would seem like an easy task, but lifting it up and raising it down, there's some areas where a child or a small person or really anybody can get injured. A lot of times when you're trying to close that garage door, one of the most common injuries we see with homeowners or their families is as they're trying to close that garage door, they'll put their hand in between the two sections and they'll pull it down and not realize it. And then their fingers get smashed in there. And once it's in there, you can't pull it out. So these are injuries that are all caused from using, manually operation of a garage door. That's why garage door openers have gotten so popular over the years, and the locks aren't a part of that anymore. I will say this, there's a new garage door opener system out there that's getting really, really popular. It's called a jackshaft opener, or a lot of people call it a side mount opener. With those openers, there's actually an electric lock that comes with it. So once that door closes and is in the closed position, it's got a lock that actually mounts to the side of the track on the garage door and has a bolt lock that goes through, and it's all electric. So whenever the door closes, it actually simultaneously locks the door into a closed position. Those types of locks we'll see are getting a lot more popular now than what they used to be, but we're definitely getting away from the old school manual slide lock stuff.
Yeah, things have changed. A lot the
Yes,
same, but a lot has changed. Jeff,
this is true.
thank you for joining me today here on the program. I really appreciate your expertise.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe.